Why, hello my beautiful friends and family, and welcome to this relationship Q&A with my lovely, beautiful girlfriend, Sammy Graham.
Hey guys, what's up?
You guys asked for this video, so I wanted to make this video for you. And also, if you are waiting for the next full day eating, it is coming out this weekend, so I'm really excited about that. Also, my birthday is on September 23rd, so that's also coming up.
The best
really
day
excited
ever.
about that. All right, so we could probably do 100 different relationship Q&As. I just put the question out on Instagram so that you guys could ask me different questions, and we'll just answer, I think, like 4 or 5 questions this time. And we'll probably do a bunch more, and also we'll probably do more pointed videos that are more topic based when it comes to our relationship. But in total, we've been together for a little over
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. We just hit our anniversary the beginning of this month, so yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that you guys asked us to do is to write down 3 things that we love about the other person, and then see. Okay, so we'll just blast through them. One of the ones, the first one that I wrote down is she's extremely supportive in all ways. Aww. She thinks I'm the shit, is essentially what I'm trying to say, and she basically makes me feel like I can't do any wrong, which I can. But she makes me feel like I can't. It's a good trait to have in a girlfriend, all right?
I would say my very first one is that you always want to help people, and that has been such like a turn on since the first time we started talking, because like literally with your acne story and everything that you've gone through with that, like you've helped so many people with that, and it's such a motivational thing that you do every single day, and you try and be such a happy, positive person, and that is like really, really awesome, I feel like.
You
and
like
I feel
altruism?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't have that, and like when you find that, that's like amazing.
Yeah, it's an attractive trait,
I think.
She lets me and makes me feel like a big bad boss man. So for example, if that doesn't make no sense to you, she needs me to open things for her on like a small scale, or like she says like she feels safe out in public with me, or more preferably like really like overtly things like, so like after a workout I feel like a big gorilla man, and then she'll come over and like squeeze my muscles and be like, oh man, you're so big. That's what I want. Even if I'm not big, I want you to lie to me and tell me I'm the biggest damn dude walking around the block, sidewalk cracking motherfucker.
You are though. Second one is what you already guessed. You're understanding and supportive with my mental health problems. It always seems like you know exactly what to say. The past few weeks for me have been really tough, and you're just so supportive like with everything. So it's really refreshing, and it like makes me not worry so much. You know what I mean? So you definitely know how to calm me down, whether that be like us going for a walk or, you know, just watching Netflix or something. Like you just know what to do, and you make me drink water and make me eat, and like, you know, just like little things like that.
Drink your water.
Drink your water.
Drink your water. I like it.
Yeah, that was my second one.
I try to do my best.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this one is for me a very important one. I've always known is going to have to be a trait of my girlfriend or my wife in the future, is she does motherly, maternal things for me. Weird stuff. Don't get all weird on me, you weirdos. What I mean is like so she'll like wash my dishes, or like my clothes if I'm like screwing up and stuff. She'll like take my dishes downstairs and stuff, or like she'll make sure I look good. Like if I'm gonna go out to do a collab with somebody, she'll come over and be like, oh, you got a little something there. I don't want to have something there and then you let me go. I want you to be like, come here, you gotta get that fixed, because I don't want to look stupid on camera, okay? So that's one of the things. Dude, there's the cutest doggo right here. Hey buddy. Hey bud.
Oh,
just passing through. Just passing through.
Oh, they're adorable. Okay, my turn?
Go for it. Okay. Last one.
I would say the respect that we have for each other is huge. Like, and I think that's super important if you're in a relationship, that you have to respect what the other person is doing, what they love to do. You know what I mean? You have to respect their passions. Oh, yeah. And I think both of us really respect each other in that way. This kind of goes into it, I guess. He's super motivated all the time. Like if there's something that needs to get done or that he wants to do, he fucking does it. And I think that's so cool, because he wanted to create a podcast a couple years ago. 2 years ago, he wanted to do a podcast, and he fucking did it, because he was like, I'm gonna figure it out. I want to do it. So it motivates me in a sense. He motivated me to start my poetry book, and like he was like, do it, just do it. Like you can do it. Like publish it. Like let's do it. Let's get it going. And he motivates me in things that I would never push myself to do. So I really like respect that.
Nice. I think those were good.
Those are good.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That was a really good way to start it. Of course, the next question is pretty obvious. Marriage ? Was the only thing the person wrote. Will I marry her? I am pretty damn positive I will marry her. Now, when that timeline is, I couldn't give you a strict timeline of that.
Right. Where we have time, like we have things that we want to accomplish individually and together before that day comes.
Definitely.
So we're not really on like a time restraint or anything. Like I'm not really pressuring anything to happen. There's a lot of girls that are like, you need to marry me in like 1 year, my baby clock is ticking. No, we are not like that. So
and then they get married and they're like, I did it.
Yeah, we were just watching a show and like the girl's reaction to getting married or getting proposed to was, I did it. Like that sucks.
Like
I'm
she
sorry.
got like a degree or something.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, so go ahead.
The way that I would like say I could give advice for people who are thinking about marriage is I personally had like a logical checklist of things that needed to be hit, or if they weren't hit, then it wouldn't be like I would know it's not going that way, and I would cut it off and stuff. Like, so one of the things is like she had to be around my parents long enough that I could tell that she wasn't just good at being around my parents when I'm like going for dinner and like being on my. She has to actually interact with my parents and be like nice to them and actually like love them and vice versa. If that didn't work, it wasn't gonna work.
And I love your parents.
Oh, they're
your parents
great.
are the shit. They're like my parents.
And if you didn't like them, then it would be pretty obvious that something's wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
You shouldn't force that.
Yeah,
if your
not
parents
at
are
all.
awesome, she should like them.
Exactly.
Like another one that I thought was really important is when it comes to like what I am passionate about and what I'm passionate in my career about, if there was any kind of abrasiveness on that, it wasn't going to work for me. And that's happened in the past with my other, ex-girlfriends and stuff, is they weren't supportive in those ways, and it would stop my creative outlet from being full, because I was like, okay, well, I have to think about how that person's gonna. If I have to second think the things that I'm already planning on doing, then it's not gonna work. Right,
and you have to be yourself too. Like if you're like, there's a point, you have to be mature and respectful, but at the same time, you have to be yourself too. And if you're not being able to be yourself in a relationship, then why are you in that relationship? We have so many people that we know that are in relationships that are forced, and it's completely obvious in our opinions, you know what I mean? So like, you can't force that, and if you can't be yourself, then you should not be in that relationship.
And it takes time to know that, again, because like in the beginning you can be like, yeah, everything like works really well, they love everything I do and stuff, but you got to see how that's going to be in a year and 2 years from now. Are you still able to do everything you wanted to do, or are you like actually compromising on stuff that you never wanted to compromise on?
Exactly. And that's a huge thing. That's a good point too, because compromising can be a good thing when there's things that you like as a person, like you got to work on, you know what I mean? But if you're compromising like things that you love and you enjoy and that are a big part of your life, like your passions, you should not be doing that.
And anyway, so we're down the line of like 10 checks off the checklist, for example, and we have like 2 more that need to be checked off that I'm pretty damn sure are going to be checked off. So that's my perspective of us getting married.
Definitely.
It'll happen. Don't worry. This one was really cool. Someone asked about sleeping patterns. Have they changed, etc., etc.? Definitely.
This is a great question.
This is a good one.
This is such a good
Everyone's got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you might not think about it when you start getting in a relationship, but yeah, I think you got to see if that's going to work for you. I was very strict in the beginning with my sleeping patterns. I was like 8 hours period. So even if I go to bed at 4 a.m., I'm going to wake up at 12 in the afternoon next day.
And that's how you were for probably 6 months. For 6 months into the beginning of the relationship, that was just your schedule. You would work out really late, and then you'd come home and edit your video.
Leading up to our beginning of our relationship, I was 8 hours of sleep.
Yep, exactly.
Now I still need 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and if I get less than that, I will take a nap after she goes to work or whatever. It has to happen, but it's a little bit less strict. Like for example, she has to go to sleep watching TV or having some sort of auditorial stimulation, and I didn't. Like, I needed complete silence. I had to be blacked out, no sound. I even bought like a blindfold and earplugs in the beginning, but just over time I got like more adjusted and used to it. You have to make compromises no matter what in a relationship. I think it's just important to evaluate, is this a compromise that I'm okay making for the rest of my life? Or are these compromises not okay? And if they are okay, then you're all good. But if they're not okay, then you need to address them. Or break it off. You got to figure it out, because you can't waste time, you can't waste your time, you can't waste their time. It's not really nice of you to do that. So if there's an issue, always got to communicate. Address it right away.
Get it over with.
Don't waste time, bro.
Yeah, just don't. And then it's a lot easier if it doesn't work out, that you can be like, all right, well, this isn't going to work out type thing. Sorry,
Yeah. The biggest shame is like when you date somebody for years longer than you should, and then you realize like, I could have broken it off 3 years ago when I knew all this stuff. Now we're addressing it 3 years later.
And then it's harder for someone to change, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, this is what I've been used to, this is how I am, and then it's a big deal. Don't do it.
What challenges do you guys face as influencers? And this one is a really good question, although the answers aren't really like huge. You would think there's a lot of problems, but basically it's just that like, when you're an influencer, when you're both influencers, you have people of both sex watching you.
Yeah.
And so you obviously will have people here and there being like, hey, flirtatious. I know you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, but still, I just wanted to see if I could slide
Just
into
gonna say,
Hey, cutie, do you want to hang out sometime?
That was one from his today.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were saying,
It's funny.
you were saying before when we had recorded this for the first time, it's just like in the beginning, it's a lot harder.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was really hard for me in the beginning just because I didn't understand it so much. Always been super supportive, always watched every one of his videos, and I've never once wanted him to stop doing it because of these things. And that's really important as well. But, you know, hoes are hoes, and it doesn't matter if it's a guy hoe or a girl hoe, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how the people are, and people don't respect the fact that other people are in relationships sometimes, so you can't blame your significant other for that, you know? And I trust Brian, like, with my life, you know what I mean? We have a very good you know, relationship that way, and I literally, anyone could message him and I'd be like, that's funny, you know, and we just laugh it off.
A lot of trust.
Yeah, so we trust each other so much that it's not even a big deal anymore. But in the beginning that was like a little difficult, but other than that, like, we're pretty, like, we communicate so well, so like there really isn't ever any problems ever.
And if you're an influencer or not an influencer, your significant other will interact with both sexes of the human race. And so you got to get used to it and get comfortable with it, because in the beginning it will be harder. You can't force trust, you have to let it build as it goes, so it will get easier as you go. And just understand, like, that the other person might be uncomfortable with it a little bit, and like give them reassurance, you know, like help them understand that like there is no issue and it will not end up being an issue. And then as you go and you keep proving that point, it's going to be like, dude, literally show me your DMs, because it's going to be funny laughing at that person hitting on you or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think the best thing you said in there was there are guy hoes and girl hoes.
It's true.
Confucius.
It happens.
Okay, so this last one I think is really cool too. How do you know you love someone versus you're infatuated or just excited about them? I think this is a really important question, because I think a lot of people in the beginning of meeting somebody think they love someone very quickly. Like if you ever, and I'm not saying like, I know somebody's gonna get offended out there, but I've had a lot of my personal friends be like, dude, I don't know what it is, but I just went on a third date with this person and I've never met somebody like this person. I love them so much. And then like a year later, you're like talking to them about how terrible the relationship was and how this person didn't match up with them and all this other stuff. So it's important to make the separation between infatuation and love. Absolutely. When you first meet somebody and they're nice to you and they're attractive, what's going to happen inside of your body? You're going to get excited. You're going to get the butterflies. Dump serotonin. You're going to dump dopamine. And it's going to feel like the biggest high, and you're going to feel like the biggest drug ever. So yeah, you're going to be like, this is the best feeling ever. This person is so amazing. And that can happen with just about anybody who isn't being passive aggressive to you or overtly mean to you and is attractive. So you have to understand that in the beginning, you're fueled off of like excitement and just like pure adrenaline, and then you have to let that kind of relax until you're both calm and you like understand what's gone on in a more mature way, and then decide, do you still love that person, or is it just an infatuation that has slowly been dying out?
And I think time as well plays a big factor in this. I feel like you have to get to know someone, and I know some people believe in love at first sight, but I think it's infatuation at first sight. In our opinions, I feel like, because how do you know if you love someone, like really truly deeply love someone, if you don't know them, if you don't know what they've been through, if they don't know their struggles, if you don't know, you know, their beliefs on certain things, their morals, their, you know, all of these things, you know what I mean?
Like all that stuff just doesn't matter.
Like just because you just met them, that means you love them, you know, and that's, you really got to think about that, I think. And I think like for us, I said I love you first, and it was a few months in, so if anything, I know like what it's like to like be the one to say it first. You know what I mean? So like I get it, but like it was so easy for me because I knew him for so long, and like I appreciated everything, and I knew pretty much everything about him when I did say that. So you gotta just really do your research. I know it sounds silly, it's not like a research paper, but you gotta kind of do that. If you're gonna label it love, you gotta know what love really means, you know?
Yeah, have some evidence-based reasons that you love somebody.
Totally.
You know? I think Sammy's dropping knowledge bombs tonight, bro.
Boom.
That's gonna be it for this Q&A because I don't want to make this video 45 minutes long. We could go through like 100 other questions.
Yeah.
I could even give you more information on the questions we already answered.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that for a future one. So if you have any questions you were like, I was hoping you were here to hit this question that we sent you, send them again and put them in the comments below, and we'll make a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a million.
Yeah.
So yeah, just leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you check out Sammy's channel. I'll put her link right below this. She's definitely putting a lot more effort into her content as of the last month, so you're gonna see a lot more stuff. If you're someone who suffers any sort of mental illness, it is definitely the place to go on YouTube right now is Sammy's channel. So go check that out. Also check out my new accounts on YouTube and on Instagram, Team Acne, where we're gonna be posting like a ton more acne content. I'll still be posting some here, but go there if you wanna check out as much as you possibly can and join the community. That is it for this video, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Like I said, let us know what you thought in the comments below and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week.
CT.
Lift heavy or die MIRIN, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week.
CT. Lift